Hi, third grade. Today we are going to start Unit 3. And actually, Unit 3 is a very short unit that is only 1 week long. So before you know it, we will be taking another unit test. But let's get ready and warmed up with our drill sounds warm up. Repeat after me. A, apple, ah. A, wash, ah. A, squash, ah. E, ed, eh. I, itch, I. O, octopus, ah. U, up, X, fox, x. P, pan, p. TCH, catch, ch. And CK, sock, k. Nice work. Okay, next we're going to review something that you learned in second grade, the vowel dash E syllable, or the vowel consonant E syllable. So let's give her your full attention so we can review well today. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Miss Ann, and I'm a literacy specialist for Wilson, and I teach teachers and students with Fundations. So I'm happy to meet you, and I'm here today to start some things from Unit 3 of Level 3 of Fundations. So I just want to go over some of the concepts that will be reviewed in this unit with you. Some of the things, luckily, will be very familiar to you, so when you see what I'm doing here, you're going to say, oh yeah, I remember how to do that. So I want you to pay close attention and remember some of the things that you've learned a little bit before, but it'll be good to review and go back over those things again. Okay? So what you're going to need, though, for this particular little lesson today is you're going to need your student notebook. Let me show you what that's going to look like. It has the castle on the front. You'll need that student notebook, and you're also going to need your magnetic letterboard today. So that has the letters all cut out with the colors, and you may have it on something that looks a little bit different, but that's okay. Just some kind of letters to move around to spell with, okay? So if you want to pause the computer for a second, then you can go get those things, and you'll be all set to go. Okay, hope you have those things and you're ready to go. First, I'm going to review with you the second type of syllable that we learned in Fundations. We know about closed syllables, but we're going to learn that second syllable over again today. So you're very familiar, I'm sure, with this word here. Everybody, what is that word? Hop, that's correct, hop, and that's one of our closed syllables, and the O makes that ah sound that you're so familiar with. But the second type of syllable is something that makes that O say the long sound instead. How can we make that O say the long sound? Well, you might remember that we add the E to the end. So now we have O, and we have a consonant. This happens to be P for this word, and the E on the end. That E is, remember, kind of like a magic E. It has lots of jobs to do in words. So it jumps over and makes that vowel right here, makes that vowel long, makes the long sound. And often that's the name of the letter. The O, it says O when it's long, okay? So let's tap this. Ready? It would be O, hope, right? Remember that? So that's called our vowel consonant E, okay? And you might remember with those types of words that, let me get a poster here to show you. There's a poster like this that you might have seen in your classroom, or you might remember seeing with vowel sounds, but you know the A, apple, ah, but now that we know the long sound, of the vowel consonant E, we would say a safe A. So let's say these after me. A, apple, ah, a safe A. Let's try the E. E, ed, eh, E, peat, E. Great job. Good. Let's look with the I. I, itch, I. And then I, pine, I. So that would be that long sound with the vowel consonant E. I, pine, I. O would be O octopus ah, O home O. And then the U up this has two sounds for the long sound. U mule U and U rule oo. Can you say those after me again? U mule U rule oo. So the U can say U and it can say oo. Okay? So those might be familiar to you. You would have gone over those before in Fundations, and you probably know some other sounds on this poster. But for right now, I'm just focusing on the long and the short sound of those vowels there that make from that vowel consonant E. Okay? So that U is tricky. It can make the two sounds, U and oo sound. Now let's review a little bit about how to mark up a word like that. So let's look at this word here. Okay, I've got an R, O, a P, and an E. So I see that E on the end. That tells me that this O is going to be long. So when I see a situation like that, I can mark it up from beginning to end. That's the syllable. This is a vowel dash E. That stands for vowel consonant E, but sometimes we say vowel dash E. That dash stands for any consonant that could be in there. There could be different consonants in words that would be in between those vowels there. So this tells us that the vowel is going to be long, that first vowel, and the E is going to be silent. That's right. So you're going to mark off the E like that. Do you remember how to mark off those types of words? All right, great. So let's try one more. If you had a word like this, what do you see? I see a vowel, consonant, and an E. So I'm going to scoop it from beginning to end. I'm going to mark it with B-E. That tells me that this vowel is long. So we put a macron. Remember, that's called a macron. And we cross off the E because it's silent. But it has to be there because it makes the vowel long. Okay, great job. All right, so you'll remember when you go from closed syllable, hop, to that E on the end makes it say hope. Okay, so there's lots of other words like that that maybe you could practice at home, or maybe your teacher has given you some to practice like that. Now, one more thing I want to review with you, since we're talking about that vowel consonant E, and let me erase some of this to get it out of your way. There was something a little tricky about that when you had an S sometimes in there. So if we have this word with an S between the two vowels, that makes that S sometimes make another sound. Do you remember what the other sound? We know S can say S, but sometimes it can also say Z, right? Sometimes it can make a Z sound. So let's tap this word. O-Z, nose, right? We have the long vowel, but that S between those two vowels sometimes sounds like Z, like a Z sound almost, right? But we spell it with an S, so it's a little bit tricky. So that Z sound is made with the S. So there's other words. Let me grab a few cards here to show you. Let's try this. Move this. All right. Let's tap this one. I, Z, wise. Someone that's wise, remember, is very smart with ideas and things, and they do things that seem to be correct, so they are very wise, we say. All right, but that between the two vowels, that S sounds like Z in there. Sometimes, though, it can still sound like an S sound. So let's look at this word. All right, we have our digraph, CH, ch, A, S. Chase, that's correct, chase. So the S sounds like a regular S in there. So be careful, because sometimes that S between the vowels can sound like an S or can sound like Z, like a Z sound. Okay, so good job.
Okay, third grade, now you're going to need your letter tile board. And get ready to listen so we can practice some vowel consonant E syllables. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Miss Ann, and let's move on. And I want you to get your letter boards out that look like this. So I'll give you a second to go get your letter boards, because now we're going to spell some of these words. All right, so usually when we do echo fine letters with this, usually your teacher gives you a few sounds at first, right? So I'm going to give you a few sounds, and we're going to think about the long sound of the vowels. So if I said to you, everybody say, I'm going to move this up closer so you can see it. Everybody say A. Say the sound A. If you hear the sound A and we're spelling, we have to show what that situation would look like by putting an A consonant. So that blank ivory is going to stand for consonant, any consonant. And then what makes it say A? Well, it's that E on the end there. A consonant E is going to make that sound. Okay? So when your teacher says, what says A? You're going to think, oh, A consonant E, and you can show it with the tiles here. All right, let's try one more. Everybody say I. Repeat. I. What says I? Think about it. Oh, yes. I consonant E says I. I consonant E. Okay? So you're going to show that spelling situation there. So any of the vowels can work that way. The trickiest one will be that U, because remember, it can make two sounds. If I said U, you could say U. U can be U consonant E. All right? If I said ooh, what could that be? That could also be that U, right? So we could say ooh could be U consonant E as well. All right, so now let's try with a couple words just to give you practice with that, and then maybe you can practice more at home with these. Let's try the word hope. Ready? Hope. Say it again. Hope. And let's tap it. Hope. All right? So we have good. And how do we spell it? H-O-P-E. What's the word? Hope. Good. And why did we have to put this E on the end? If we just said it there by itself, it would say hop. But we have to put the E to make, I heard a long O, so I have to put that E there to make it have that long sound. All right, let's try another one. Spell it back. H-O-P, and our vowel E. All right, let's try the next one. Let's try slope. Like a hill is a slope. All right, let's tap it. S-O-P. All right, let's go ahead and pull down the letters. You start. I heard an O in there. I heard that long O, but I hear a blend to start it with. And how do I make it say O? I have to add that E to it here. All right, so how do we spell slope? S-L-O-P-E. That E is very important. Otherwise, the word would have been slop, right? And we wanted the word slope because I heard that long O, so I have to put the E. Let's spell it back. S-L-O-E. Good. Let's see if I can trick you now. Everybody say spin. What's the word? Good. Let's tap it. Good. Go ahead and pull down. I think the vowel I heard was a short sound. Right? So I don't need the E on the end because we said spin. And that vowel I heard So we don't need the E on the end of that one. All right, good job. So what if I wanted to make that word say spine? Spine, ready? I hear a long I. So if I wanted to make this say spine, what would I have to add to it? You're right, the E on the end there, spine. So very important that you listen to what that vowel is saying. Is it making the long sound or the short sound? And that'll determine whether we use that E on the end to help us with that vowel, consonant, E syllable. All right. Good job, boys and girls. Thanks for paying attention. And there's other words you could practice at home with that. So try to do some practice with that and marking them up. And I'll see you next time.
Okay, third grade, the last thing we're going to do in today's Fundations lesson is learn our next 3 lowercase letters in cursive. So far this year in Units 1 and 2, we have been introduced to all of the loop letters, right? Say them after me. L, E, H, B, F, K, right? And those are loop letters because in order to form them, you have to make a loop somewhere. The next letters we learned were the up-down letters. Repeat after me. I, J, P, R, S, T, U, and W. All right, and those are called up-down letters because in order to form those ones, you have to go up and trace back down in order to make them. If you see our next row, these are called 2 o'clock letters. It's kind of a funny name at first, but you'll see why they're called 2 o'clock letters in a moment. Today we're going to learn lowercase c, lowercase a, and lowercase o. But I wanted to share with you very quickly why they're called 2 o'clock letters. On my cursive grid, down here between the plain line and the grass line, I'm going to just draw a little analog clock for you. So on any analog clock, we should be able to picture one in our head that 12 o'clock goes straight up. And then a little bit over here, we go 1, 2, 3 is right on the right side. 4, 5, 6 is straight down. Okay, 7, 8, 9 is over here. 10, 11. Okay, that's my best quick analog clock. Now, the reason these letters C, A, and O are called 2 o'clock letters is because right here is 2 o'clock. And when you form these letters, you'll see in a second, you have to go and loop over to 2 o'clock on the clock. So when we make a C, you're going to start here and loop to 2 o'clock and come back. Okay. When we make an A, you go here to 2 o'clock, you come around and come back. Okay. When you do an O, 2 o'clock, come back, and then go. All right. That is the information I wanted to share with you. And now have a piece of paper handy and a pencil at home so that you can practice lowercase c, a, and o. Okay, hopefully you have your materials. Here is lowercase c.
C is a 2 o'clock letter. It starts on the grass line. Point to the grass line. Glide up towards the plane line, then around to 2 o'clock. Trace back around to the grass line and make a tail.
Okay, there you have it for letter C. And if you need to see it again, you know what to do on the video. The next letter we're going to learn is another 2 o'clock letter, lowercase a. Here you go.
A is a 2 o'clock letter. It starts on the grass line. Point to the grass line. Glide up towards the plane line, then around to 2 o'clock. Trace back around to the grass line, then straight up to the plane line. Trace down to the grass line and make a tail.
Okay, and the last letter for today is lowercase o.
O is a 2 o'clock letter. It starts on the grass line. Point to the grass line. Glide up towards the plane line, then around to 2 o'clock. Trace back around to the grass line, then up around to connect the lines, and make a swinging bridge.
Okay, third grade, it was great working with you today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.